What if I told you that one of the next giant leaps in space exploration was being controlled by something that feels, well, a lot like a video game? Seriously, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot, it's a real mission happening right now, hundreds of miles above our heads.
So let's just start with this question. What on earth does a NASA astronaut's job have in common with, playing a video game? You're probably thinking absolutely nothing. But trust me, the answer is way cooler than you think. And yeah, it involves strategy, skill, and a very, very advanced joystick.
All right, so to really get this, we've got to meet the person at the controls. Let's introduce our player and break down what this incredibly unique mission was all about.
Our protagonist, our player one, is NASA astronaut Jonny Kim. And his gaming setup? Oh, it's just the International Space Station. No big deal. And it's from up there that he just took on one of the most unique tech demos of his entire 6-month mission.
Now, Jonny Kim is, well, he's basically a real-life superhero. He's a former Navy SEAL, an emergency medicine physician, a NASA astronaut. But look at that last point, right there in his official bio. Lifelong video gamer. Who knew that a hobby would turn out to be some of the most relevant training he had for this job in orbit?
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to what Jonny himself said. He said this mission brought me right back, blending elements of real-time strategy, RPGs, and first-person play. He's literally using gamer language to describe a NASA experiment. For him, that line between a simulation and reality got razor thin.
So what was this game he was playing? Officially, it's called the Surface Avatar Experiment. The goal? To see if an astronaut just floating in space could take command of a whole team of robots on a fake Martian landscape all the way back down on Earth.
So how in the world did they pull this off? Well, if you want to make an astronaut feel like a gamer, you have to give them an unbelievably advanced setup. So let's look at the console they built for him up in space that made this all feel so real.
Get this, the interface was almost exactly like a gaming rig. Kim had this super advanced controller that copied his finger and wrist movements with insane precision. He had a heads-up display, a HUD, showing things like robot battery levels and location. He even had a mini-map to see from each robot's point of view and a chat function to talk to the ground teams.
And here's the kicker. He actually used the term fog of war. You know, that classic thing in strategy games where you can't see the whole map until you explore it? He felt that exact same sense of discovery, managing his robot squad from a distance, just like a commander in a game.
Of course, every player needs their characters, right? Or in this case, their avatars. Jonny wasn't just controlling one machine, he was the leader of a whole squad. So let's meet the team he was commanding from the ISS.
Yeah, this wasn't a solo run. Kim was basically the field commander for a team of 4 totally different robots. And while he was circling the Earth, his team was on the ground near Munich, Germany, just waiting for his commands. The time delay was actually pretty minimal.
Think of this like picking your party in an RPG. First up, you've got Roland Justin, the humanoid robot. Then there's the Interact rover, kind of your classic exploration vehicle. The team also had Spot, that nimble 4-legged robot you've probably seen online. And finally, Bert, another 4-legged machine. But he's the specialist, built to get into really tight spaces.
And it was Bert, the specialist, who gave Jonny Kim a moment that felt like it was literally pulled out of a video game. It was this perfect mix of a serious mission objective and just pure sci-fi coolness. So Kim directed Bert to crawl into a small simulated cave. And he said that the robot's ability to just squeeze into this dark, tight space felt exactly like unlocking a special character ability in a game. But, this wasn't to level up, it was to prove we can one day explore real lava tubes on the moon or Mars.
Okay, this all sounds like a ton of fun, right? Probably the coolest tech demo ever. But it was way more than that. So let's get to the really big question. Why does any of this game stuff actually matter for the future?
Because this is how we're going to do it. This is the blueprint for exploring other worlds. By sending these robotic avatars ahead of people, we can check out dangerous places like the surface of Mars or the deep craters on the moon without putting a single human life on the line. This is the practice run for our next giant leap.
And for Jonny Kim, there's this really beautiful personal side to all of this. While he's up in space playing the most advanced video game in history, he mentioned that his son is back home on Earth, just waiting for his dad to come back so they can play video games together again.
And that really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? This experiment proved that the skills you learn in a virtual world can have a huge impact in the real one. So, as that line between the game and reality just keeps getting blurrier, what do you think the next game will be that completely changes our world?